So today we have Xinch here with us. Xinch, of course, is our digital marketing instructor and also the head of marketing for StoreHub. So Xinch, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
So Xinch, what exactly? So to give a context to the audience today, what do you actually do as a head of marketing at StoreHub?
So StoreHub is a B2B SaaS software as a service startup, and we sell a retail management system and a technology platform for retail and F&B entrepreneurs in Southeast Asia. And the marketing team in StoreHub helps our sales guys generate leads, engage our customers, and helps qualify leads as well. So I lead, as head of marketing, I just lead the marketing team there. I hire and grow and oversee the strategy.
Cool. So, hey guys, if you have any questions, Sean, Joey, or anyone tuning in on Instagram or wherever, Xinch here has been the head of marketing of StoreHub, so she has a lot of experience when it comes to retail marketing or SaaS or marketing in general. So keep your questions coming in. And today, especially, we have 2 movie tickets to give out. So we will need your help. All right. Everyone here will need your help. Joey, Sean, or anyone here on Facebook Live, 8 people. We'll need to reach 15 shares, all right? 15 shares, and we'll give out these GSC movie vouchers. And actually, you can see these GSC movie vouchers, right? It's not a normal movie voucher. It's actually for Atmos.
You say normal in the front, right?
Normal, but it's also applicable. We got a special one applicable for Dolby Atmos. So if you've not tried Dolby Atmos, you can get these 2 GSC movie vouchers. Please, so Mary asked if she can bring Xinch as a date. If you bring your son. PM. So yeah, share this video as we get 15 shares. We will actually give out to people who ask questions 2 movie passes. So please help us to share this video. And we'll let you know once we reach 15 shares. And keep your questions coming in when it comes to digital marketing. So before we start, right? Let's get to know since she's sharing her post on. Just share. So invite your friends to this video as well. Before sharing, we have 12 people now on Facebook. So invite your friends who are marketers, business owners. So we can hear and answer your questions. Okay, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Bob. So I am actually also the head of growth of Next Academy. So you can ask me questions. So digital marketing is so broad. So today we are on very, very broad grounds. It's not next week we'll have Facebook advertising webinar, but today is very broad. So anything digital marketing is a very broad scope. So ask me anything, when it comes to paid advertising or SEO, email marketing,
funnel marketing,
website optimization.
If you're selling something online, how do you sell more of that?
Yeah. So
SEO, that works too.
Yeah, SEO, anything when it comes to digital, how to get started. So yeah, just keep the questions coming in. Let me ask the first questions to Xinch first. So as a head of marketing of a startup per se, how do you grow from zero to build a marketing team? So what are in essence what are the essential components of a marketing team?
Well, there's no straightforward answer to this actually, because it kind of depends on your strategy. But also full disclosure, I didn't start off with 0 people marketing team. So I inherited the marketing team because StoreHub is actually about 6 years old now, and I joined them when they were about 4. And there were about 2 people in the marketing team aside from myself at the time. So one of the key things, the first few things I had to do was to actually grow it and double it in size. And now we're 10 people, full-timers and 3 interns. And I'm supposed to add 16 more in the next year. So yeah, if you're a digital marketer looking for opportunities, I need 16 people. But anyway, that's
so so email Xinch if you're looking for a digital marketing position as well.
But no, that's not the point. I think ultimately how you structure a marketing team depends entirely on what your strategy is going to be like. So I think McKinsey had a really, really good summary of how marketing teams are typically structured across multiple organizations. Yeah. So one is by a customer journey. So for instance, you have people in acquisition, people in like customer engagement, people in brand awareness. So specific pods along the customer journey and along the funnel. Or you can have product structured marketing teams if you've got multiple products. So for instance, I use like Mindvalley as an example. If you had one product, which is health and fitness, you would have a team dedicated to that. The other option would be by countries. Yeah. So how I chose to structure the marketing team at StoreHub was by a mix of all of those. So it's like a Rojak hybrid pretty much. And what we're doing then is we kind of mix it like by region and by funnel at the same time. Because why specifically is that the case? Because we're a startup, and one of the main things about our marketing team is it has to be very agile, it has to be able to operate really smoothly, really quickly on its own. So the goal here is for every pod to have dedicated marketers, copywriters, graphic designers, content creators, and social media guys, and they will operate independently based on region and based on product.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. As of Next Academy, I think you can see on our social media and various platforms, content comes very important to us, because when it comes to the educational space, we need to educate our customers. It's a long sales cycle as well. So we need to educate our customers before they become our students. So we actually, as a startup, I think you would know, as a startup, we look for, I would say, T-shaped marketers. So because we need a marketer that can fit into multiple roles and also work around different disciplines. So essentially, when I build a marketing team for a startup, it is structured around content and also complemented by paid. So that's essentially the two that I normally work around. But yeah, for me, it's coming up with the content process, we're doing content right now. So for any startup out there, come up with a content process. So we'll talk about content later, but essentially for me, it's about content plus then the paid side, which is the building blocks of any marketing team. Of course, there's different parts of the funnel. So any marketer that works for, especially a startup, needs to be able to visualize the customer journey and work on different parts of the journey simultaneously.
I mean, I totally agree with your T-shaped marketing thing.
Yeah.
We've got player progression frameworks at like how do you move from how do you early junior marketer to mid-level to senior, and they're all based on T-shaped marketer models. Actually, they're great. If any one of you is wondering what is, just Google. Yeah, I think Buffer has an amazing post about it.
Yeah, so T-shaped market, just a brief one. So when we teach, Xinch is the digital marketing instructor for our digital marketing quantum degree. We also have what we call in September, digital marketing product launch bootcamp. So at every bootcamp, we teach the students, hey, digital marketing is very broad. You will never be a master of everything. So there was a question that came in. So how from Farah Shazana is there's so many things to master when it comes to digital marketing. What should you master first? So what should you master? So when I teach the students at Product Launch Bootcamp, I always say be a T-shaped marketer. So there's so many things to learn. I'm still learning SEO, technical SEO. I'm still refining my skills when it comes to Google Ads. But every marketer should have a T-shape. So you should be in depth in whether it's SEO or Facebook advertising. But the T-shape, this is where the horizontal comes in. You need to know how everything works together, but we did in one thing. So yeah, that's so. Since the question is, being a T-shaped marketer, do you have to master all, or how do you pick what to master first?
I think if you're gonna pick stuff to master first, all the stuff along the horizontal bit. Yeah. So for me, things I prioritize, right? Understanding behavioral psychology. That is actually the crux and the fundamental part of, I think, any marketing campaign. It differentiates an excellent marketer and like someone who just knows how to launch a Facebook ad. So behavioral psychology, understanding storytelling, the building blocks of storytelling, which helps you do something as simple as write a blog post or design a whole marketing campaign. And being getting proficiency with data and analytics, like Microsoft Excel as an example, learning how to read data, how to analyze data. So those are like, I feel, building blocks. But if you're looking to build specific channel skills, and channel skills are what I call Facebook, Google, SEO, as a marketer, I think right now the market is actually looking for people who are great at content and also great at paid acquisition, and paid acquisition specifically Facebook. Using Facebook. So if it's just in demand now, but the reality is that as the whole market evolves, this like core skills, the base skills, the storytelling, the behavioral psychology, and copy is where how you actually have longevity as a marketer. For lack of a better description.
I completely agree with that. I actually started off my career in traditional advertising. So we learned as a traditional marketer. Back then I used to do newspaper ads, used to do TV ads. Traditional marketers, unlike digital marketers, don't go for the channels first. They do proper research. They take cameras out to record people. They do focus groups. So the thing was, they wanted first to understand the customer behavior, and secondly to dig up insights when it comes to the customers. So no matter what, so I think Maverick was previously on this live. I don't know if he's still here. But so the key is to understand your customers. So no matter where you go as a marketer, which channel, whether it's SEO, you need to understand how your customers do your keyword search. Whether it's Facebook ads, you need to know how your customer would interact with you on Facebook, or whether what type of videos you watch on YouTube. First is the customers' behavioral psychology.
One of the base skills is for a T-shaped marketer, research.
Research,
You just need to get really good at stalking people and understanding what they do online.
So it's amazing. So I think there are about 16 people. So how many shares so far? 11. Okay. So our team, please keep welcoming people and keep encouraging people to put forth the questions. So back to that, and doing research. So what are your favorite ways to do research as a digital marketer?
I'm actually a really good stalker.
Okay. Me too. I can find someone's Instagram or Facebook if I wanted to, if I really wanted to.
So what I typically do is if there's already an existing customer base, then I have a tendency to maybe stalk the top 10, 15, 20 most active customers, or like most engaged, or highest transacting, whatever that is. I would try to stalk them, and when I say stalk, I mean specifically who are they on Facebook, how old are they, where do they go, are they urban, what kind of language do they speak. And in the American market, that's quite standard. Everyone speaks English. Most people speak English. Actually, not everyone, because Spanish is quite big there. But in Malaysia, you've got Southeast Asia, you've got a very diverse set of languages. So, and usually urban, suburban, semi-urban, and from my stalking, I can kind of figure that out. That's for more like qualitative stuff. But on a quantitative level, Facebook's audience insights is really excellent. Back when they were able to, you could actually figure out custom audiences. Now you can't. So I use that to kind of analyze page likes and who likes a page.
Okay.
Keyword research is also really, really excellent as a way to kind of figure out the market a little bit more.
So I also use things like Google Trends, like to identify whether there is a trend when it comes to keyword search. So in our last digital marketing product launch bootcamp, we actually sold something called Beyblades. So Beyblades,
those like tops, the spinning tops.
So we collaborated with a brand called Yasue to sell actually that product. So what we find is that there was actually a spike in interest, especially here in Malaysia for Beyblades. So the students had a good time marketing a thing that has a trend. For me, on a daily basis, I do on social media, I try to understand why people watch different stuff. I stalk people. I watch different YouTube channels. I talk to different people. I observe what is events that are happening.
Watch what your customers watch. Read what your customers read.
Read what your customers read. And qualitatively, actually, it's very important. As a marketer or a business owner, go down to the ground level and spend time talking to your customers, and then that's where you really understand what is their pains, what are their gains, and what are their challenges. So 11 shares so far, so we're going to get there. So research is very important when it comes to being a T-shaped marketer. 19. Okay,
I keep hearing you say T-shaped marketer.
T-shaped marketer. Okay, so that's a great start. So start with research, and when it comes to being a T-shaped marketer, choose a channel, or at least understand your customers. So no matter what channel you are in, you'll be able to apply the same principles. So I think just now I talked about being in traditional advertising. So right now we have progressed to digital. So this is just a question to probably set up the rest of the talk. So Ijo Mark actually asked, what has digital marketing changed? What is digital marketing able to achieve that conventional marketing cannot? So Xinch, what are your thoughts on that?
When you say conventional marketing, I'm going to make the assumption newspaper, radio ads, billboards.
Mm-hmm.
I think like one of the best things about digital marketing is just data availability. Right now, like with TV ads, or I'm not talking Netflix is not TV. Newspapers, you can only go by a single metric, and it's called impressions. Like how many newspapers are sold, how many eyeballs on a specific paper. And in fact, your newspaper has 60 pages or more. I haven't read a newspaper in so long. But and there's no guarantee that someone saw interacted with your ad. On digital, you are able to track everything down to the action, how long they spend on the page, whether they left immediately or not. So to me, the most straightforward answer is that.
Yeah. So data is the most important part, the most exciting part about marketing. And as we progress with marketing, there will be more and more data that we can capture. So in the product launch bootcamp, I always give this analogy for Facebook custom audiences. So right now, all the audience here on Facebook or Instagram, if you go out to look at the billboard outside on the road, all right, and then you see the billboard. What if I told you when you go home and turn on your TV, let's say you see a billboard for BMW cars, and when you go home, the TV knows that you saw this billboard and will show you a BMW ad. So that is not possible yet with conventional marketing, but
maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day with facial recognition or whatever. Yeah. But right now with digital marketing, it's possible. Anyone who has visited a website or engaged on social media or watch a video or whatever, Facebook or Google will be able to capture that data, and you'll be able to push remarketing ads or to those custom audiences. So data remarketing is the difference when it comes to conventional marketing. And my thoughts on conventional marketing, it's still important. When I was working in a retail brand, I love to advertise on flight magazines. Because in a flight, especially with no Wi-Fi,
no internet.
It's the place where you would spend time to read that magazine. So that's my favorite placement that I buy. So a lot of conventional marketing is I perceive as top of funnel awareness, more like brand awareness. So a question that came from Kevin, who is an SEO specialist. So he asked us how to measure the effectiveness of brand awareness campaigns. So what are your thoughts? It's very broad, but what are your thoughts, Xinch?
This is not really my forte, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in the past, so I've always worked with very niche industries. So I used to sell weird stuff, like dating products, astral projection, even now at StoreHub, we're not weird, but we're B2B, which is very niche in a small audience. So it's really hard for me to rely on things like Google Trends because honestly, the trend spikes like this.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to rely on that. Instead, if we're doing brand awareness stuff, I typically like to see if there are any spikes in impression counts on our AdWords account for brand. Like, so StoreHub as a brand, for instance. Did we see during this period of time like a spike in searches for StoreHub as a brand?
Yeah.
So one of the clearest ways for me is that I know that there are ways to also calculate brand lift, but on Facebook actually, the brand lift studies on Facebook are super expensive. Makes more sense for B2C, to be honest. I've also done some like really ghetto ways. Like I distribute flyers everywhere, right? Flyer A versus flyer B. Flyer A says call Sandy. Flyer B says call Ahmad.
Yeah.
And to see which one gets a better result. And one is more branding, one is very like straight to the point. I'm very ghetto.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yep. Brand awareness. There is no one way. It's that it actually depends on your brand. I have no access to analytics. So one way to actually measure the effectiveness of your brand is when you get more direct traffic than, let's say, paid traffic or organic traffic. You get very good direct traffic. So for example, you can go to SimilarWeb, or you can go to any traffic free analyzing tool. Put in AirAsia. AirAsia gets a lot of direct traffic. So when you build your brand awareness, until some point, people will not search for flights in Asia anymore. People will search AirAsia. People won't search for cloud storage space. They search for what's Dropbox. So hopefully, people don't search for POS anymore. They search for StoreHub. So
I also hope.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, disclaimer. This is for very broad B2C.
Yeah.
This is a lot easier to achieve in that sense.
Yeah. B2B. Yeah. B2B is different, but yeah.
Or very narrow.
Very narrow.
Very narrow niche.
Or you need to reach the brand awareness with a very small group of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Specifically.
So great stuff. So
hey guys, we're at 20 shares already.
20 shares. Is it 19? 19?
No,
one more? 20 shares already. So keep your questions coming in. I think we are now around 23 minutes. We'll announce the winner for the best question when it comes to around 50 minutes. But great, keep the questions coming in.
There are quite a number of questions.
Yeah, so especially when Xinch said ask her about retail, software, and other marketing questions that you have. So great question when it comes to marketing awareness. So when you reach a stage of very good brand awareness, especially B2C, people will say, let's Grab to that place, let's Uber to that place.
Become like a verb.
Become like a verb. So that's where you're there and there when it comes to brand awareness. So just now I touched about some tools. So we have a question from what are the social media marketing. So basically, there was a question that came from Facebook. So what are your favorite free tools when it comes to we talk about Google Trends, we talked about keyword research. So what are your favorite tools out there, or not necessarily free tools, but favorite marketing tools that you use? Canva, yeah, amazing
Canva
stuff.
Is great, for creating like little social media posts.
Yeah.
Ads, I use it for everything.
Yeah.
I also use I use Buffer actually. Buffer is a free tool. So there's a free version of Buffer to help schedule social media posts. So Joshua Jonathan Lowe, we actually answered your question. So what free apps to use to generate social media marketing on the fly? That's Buffer. So with Buffer, you get to schedule all your posts on Instagram, Facebook. I think now they cover LinkedIn as well, but it's quite beta. So try it out, Buffer on the fly. I like a tool called Keyword Everywhere that helps me look at the trends when it comes to paid search. That's amazing. I used to like Keyword Everywhere Keyword tool, but recently Google revamped Google Keyword search. Their keyword search, the whole interface was revamped, and actually it's a lot better now. So I quite like it. I also use keywordtool.io.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we also that's not free though. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not free. I love so shout out to Neil Patel. I love his latest backlink tool. It's quite comprehensive. So put any website into neilpatel.com, go to backlinks, go into backlink tools, try out his Uber suggest tool as well for keywords. Put that in, and then you'll see all quite comprehensive backlinks for any website. I love VidIQ to know what are the trends for searches on YouTube, which are quite important as well.
The tool I go to the most, Google Sheets.
Google everything. That I still cannot believe that a lot of stuff tools out there that are free. So Google Sheets and all the I use SimilarWeb as well. So SimilarWeb, put in any website and they can roughly tell you where the most of their traffic come from. It's not accurate, but they can give you a gauge of the traffic.
They use Moz,
Ahrefs. Yeah, Ahrefs or SEMrush are the must-have SEO tools if you have the budget. So
Screaming Frog is also pretty good for a free tool.
Yeah, for a free tool. So yeah, these are all the tools that you have. Well, I can see some B2B questions. So I'll jump to B2B since we have Xinch here, which markets for StoreHub, which is a B2B business. You're trying to get retailers to use the StoreHub software. So a question from you, Wan Chi. So how does digital marketing, or how do you have a digital marketing strategy when it comes to B2B, especially with a long sales process?
Yeah. So I think traditionally, if you ask any marketer from outside of Southeast Asia, they all tell you to market on LinkedIn. Everyone says, firstly, you should do LinkedIn marketing. That's what all businesses are. And I'm like, yeah, but the uncle down the street who owns the mamak stall, do you think he's on LinkedIn? No, he's not. In fact, unless you're with a larger company, unless you're like a marketer, marketing on, or like CEO or C-level executive looking for a job, marketing on LinkedIn is actually really expensive because the audience here is just not huge. So LinkedIn is great for very organic content, and Bob's a LinkedIn pro here, so you can ask. He can probably answer that later. But in Southeast Asia, everyone, their mother, their grandfather, and their dog is on Facebook. And even if not Facebook properties. This means WhatsApp or Instagram. Yeah, and so we actually built. So just full disclosure, StoreHub is a funded startup. So our strategy is very focused on paid acquisition. But there's a huge opportunity in Southeast Asia for B2B marketing that's founded upon strong SEO, strong content strategy. Why? It's because in Southeast Asia, there's not enough content that's made for a Southeast Asian audience. An example, I have a client who sells like water heaters. In the US, if you were to Google how to choose a water heater, you've got like 3-4 Google search pages full of how do you pick a water heater. In Malaysia, you've got Lawyat Forum. Everyone else is looking for a water heater. But so there's a huge opportunity here with content building on SEO, content building on social media channels to drive traffic. Sorry, it's like a lorry chugging along. To drive traffic and to your website, basically using search terms, things that people are already searching for. And then having paid acquisition to support all that traffic is coming in. Paid acquisition in the form of remarketing. So one of the things that we do at StoreHub is we have a long remarketing flow. Long meaning like 180 days. So we have a 180-day remarketing flow. Why? It's because changing a POS system in any store, changing a retail management system is a huge investment for most business owners. Even if it's not investment of money, it's like training your staff, like changing the setup. It's not easy. It's painful to do. So sometimes they need like more nudges in that direction. So one of the clear ways is to identify how long your sales cycle is typically. If it's some B2B, if you're a cheaper tool, it can be really short. If it's a significantly longer sales process, then having a prolonged remarketing lead nurture cycle is pretty effective as well.
Great stuff. So I think Xinch did mention, so I've touched about LinkedIn as well. So yes, most SMEs in Asia are not really on LinkedIn.
No, not really.
But if for B2B in general, if you are like maybe a SaaS software or like a big B2B, like a company like IBM, for example. So it's very simple when it comes to B2B on LinkedIn. Just create connections with your target customer and create content to answer their pain points. So as Xinch just now mentioned about the customer cycle. So the customer journey when it comes to B2B. So the journey is typically, whether the storekeeper or whoever talks to the boss, and then the boss has to make a decision. So you have, when it comes to B2B marketing, you need to understand the whole process. So maybe coming up with a comparison chart between you and other solutions. So create content for each journey when it comes to B2B, and just put it out on LinkedIn and wait for inbound or do ads. So that's the strategy when it comes to LinkedIn. But yes, on SMEs in Asia, generally not on LinkedIn. In fact, like Xinch mentioned, there are a lot of other ways to reach them, whether it's Facebook or just flyers or SMS or just organizing events. It's a great way to reach.
I actually read this really, really good comparison a couple of years ago. If you're B2B, are you sales-driven organization or are you marketing-driven organization? Now, most B2B companies, unless you are enterprise level in the US, are marketing-driven. Because the entire audience is very, they're more equipped, they are more tech savvy, and they're better able to make these decisions. And the dollar like $50 versus the 200 ringgit, the price difference is huge, right? For the average consumer here. So they're more marketing driven. So you can build an entire acquisition funnels, SEO based off of a marketing driven funnel. Southeast Asia is very sales driven. Even the average contract sizes are small. And when I say sales driven, I mean you want someone to come talk to you, someone to come visit you. You want to speak to someone, even from a customer service standpoint. Speaking to someone is still really important. And for sales driven organizations, like marketing acts a little differently. Marketing is more lead gen than it is full funnel into product and growth hacking.
Amazing stuff. So in Asia, it's more on the sales part rather than marketing. And it's in other markets, it all depends on your market. But generally in Asia, especially when it comes to B2B, it's a lot on the salesperson, and it's a challenge to actually, we call it marketing and sales alignment. So when you do a lot of marketing, my advice is to be very aligned with your sales team. Your sales team need to understand the marketing process, and your marketing people need to understand how the sales team handles the leads. So that's very important. So I can see a lot of questions here. Let me pick some questions from here. Hi Rajesh, who just joined us. Which is that question?
My mom just
So hi. So what is your Mui's personal branding? Is it an effective marketing? StoreHub. Okay. StoreHub through who? Sean's question.
Sean,
okay.
Over right there.
Okay. So Facebook makes it seem like it's at targeting users in ads according to behavior and interest. It's really precise. But when I check the interest under my ad preferences in my own settings, most of them are completely wrong. Do you think it's the accuracy of the algorithm? What are your thoughts on lookalike audiences? Okay, these are very good. So Sean basically asked, how accurate is interest behavior targeting on Facebook? And then after that, he has a subsequent question on thoughts on lookalike audiences. Would be interested in just because they don't share the same interests as the same people. So basically, how to use lookalike audiences. So okay, I'll share my thoughts first. So basically, as Xinch will teach you in digital marketing quantum degree, there are 3 types of targeting, behavior, demographic, and interest targeting. So being in Asia, especially being Asia, there are not all behavior targeting is available. So some targeting like race, religion, it's not available here, but available in especially race.
Spend data is not available.
Household income is not available here. So a lot of the interest and behavior targeting is not available. My practice is I A/B test different behavior and interest targeting in different ad sets. Now we have, campaign, what is it called? Campaign-based optimization, budget optimization, CBO. So I just put one campaign and test out different interest targeting. So to overcome that, like Sean said, lookalike audiences are a way to overcome that. So basically lookalike audiences is, for example, if Xinch is the seed audience, what happens is Facebook can look for 1,000 people or 10% of the population similar to Xinch. So that's a way to test out interest targeting, test out lookalike targeting, which is sometimes more accurate than interest targeting. For me, in my experience as a marketer, the parents targeting is the one that really works for me for certain reasons. So we do a lot of different targeting for parents, for students, for expats works as well. But because of the data, I think the data collected here in Asia, the interest targeting is not that accurate for me. But lookalikes works well. Especially if you put a lookalike against 2 to 5%. But it all depends on do a lot of testing to see which works well for your business.
Yeah, I think you can't hope that Facebook is accurate. It's very hard to hope that Facebook's accurate. Mainly because you will never get proof that Facebook is accurate.
Yeah.
So for me, as an example, I'm a marketer, so I engage with all sorts of ads. So if I see an ad I like, I click. This means I get targeted a lot of junk.
Yeah.
And my interest targeting is definitely super skewed on Facebook. But layering actually works. So layer what you think are interest targeting with precluding factors, like things that would exclude your audience when you're creating content. So, okay, easy example. There's no business owner demographic segment on Facebook. Doesn't exist. Their business tag is actually filled with people who own Facebook, who manage Facebook pages. And as you all know, everyone has a Facebook page here. So what do we do instead? In the Philippines, we work with an agency there, and we know that if you are a retailer, if you want to open a retail store, an F&B store, you actually need a lot of money. So you got to be pretty rich in order to do that. But because in Asia, there's no high spender tagging or affinity audience, affluent audience, kind of that. We actually filter it by people who have traveled recently.
Okay.
Yeah, as an example, because you would have to be able to spend quite a bit. And on top of that, we layer all of our ads with like, do you own a retail store? Or are you a business owner? No, actually, no, are you a business owner is terrible. It's like, do you run a cafe? Is your cafe giving you a headache? So we're very specific, and the first frame of all of our ads will exclude anybody who doesn't have a retail business store. So you can actually use your creative and your copy to filter out irrelevant audience. That in my experience, that has worked the best, and while still maintaining interest targeting.
I would actually add to that. The objective of your Facebook ad actually does matter as well. So, and in different markets in Asia, if you put it as an engagement ad, you'll not really get your target audience. So by setting your objective right, whether it's conversions or video views or traffic, generally Facebook picks the audience that will convert for you or become a lead for you. So picking that objective plus the segmentation of the targeting, the right combination will give you the right results. So always pick the right objective with the right targeting.
You're gonna have to test it a lot though. It takes a while to get to something that works for you.
So that's that.
Okay.
So any other questions? So maybe we can go back to a question from our Facebook previously. So do you agree
that no matter how good digital marketing strategy, it depends on your USP, market demand? Because when the USP is not strong enough, digital marketing becomes more effective. Oh, when the USP is strong enough, digital marketing.
So this is a question from Kawai. Thanks for this question. So Kawai asked, like Xinch just said, does having a better USP help with digital marketing?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, like if you're doing digital marketing for a product that is in trend, like our students were just selling online products, selling Beyblades online, it helps because there is search volume, there is a good product. And for me, how I measure whether it's a good product to do digital marketing, for me, the key takeaway is margin. Because without a good margin, you cannot run sufficient ads. For example, if your margin is 3 ringgit and you run Facebook ads, that means you have to sell a ton of product before you earn back your advertising. So that's my point of view.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But actually, digital marketing is not a cure-all, right? Yeah. Doesn't mean if you have a product, you can just market and boom, you're going to get sales. It's still business strategy. It's still like having a strong business case. And yeah, if you don't have a strong unique selling proposition, what you're selling is not in trend. You can spend all the money you want on marketing, and it's still not really going to go anywhere. So marketing is there to take something that works and scale it, or even to test the market. But it's not going to work in the long run if on a business level, on a business case, you're still not proven and you don't have a strong selling proposition.
Cool. So, okay, that's a great answer. So as USP that actually does help. Finding the right product to market is the first thing before you start doing your marketing. So even if before anyone starts a marketing campaign or starts a business, I would actually look at, hey, actually, do you have a right product that has the right margin, or is it in demand?
Your product market fit. That's a very startup term, right?
Product market fit. So a question that came from Instagram. So since we have Xinch here, so Rishan Disha actually asked, what is the most viable platform to invest in marketing right now? So I will rephrase that question for Xinch. So what is your focus for marketing in 2019?
Content.
Okay.
So not so much what's the platform, but delivering content across multiple platforms. And that content it can be in the form of a blog, video, live like this, pre-recorded webinars. Content is the main focus for 2019.
Yeah. Same here as well for Next Academy, as we are doing this live. So it's basically content. So content goes a long way. For me, it's putting out different types of content with one. So when we do this webinar live, some people call it content sprout. Eric still calls it content sprout. So when we do this webinar live, this content will be on podcast as well. We just strip out the audio. And then short content from this video, the questions that we answer, we'll put it up onto YouTube as well. So YouTube content is important in 2019 because in the SERP, which is the search engine results page, most of the results have a video YouTube link, on the first page. So I also focus on content. So this can also be turned to audio. We can transcribe it and write a blog about it. So yeah, content is the way in 2019 have the right content and also have the right means to distribute it. So
and Swiss Army knife, because so this entire setup is like a laptop, 2 people, a phone on
Instagram,
tripod for Instagram. Hi guys, and a mic.
Yeah.
So we don't even need to have an amazing mic. There's a light here, but you could do this in your bedroom and it'd be fine.
Yeah, awesome stuff. So let's see any other questions coming in. So we have questions. Okay, Yu Yan Chong. So this is a very SEO question. How do we find out the latest Google algorithm and how to use it?
It's an interesting
question.
Yeah. Google's new algorithm. Okay, I'll just share my philosophy for SEO and surviving any Google algorithm forever, right? Aside from basic technical SEO, you still have to do technical stuff.
Yeah.
It's frankly creating just good, solid content. That's just it. Because ultimately, Google still relies on important things such as how many people click on your link if you're on page 1, click-through rate, Google's own Google Analytics, time spent on page, and all of that still matters to Google. But I think we also all have to accept that Google's moving in this direction where they don't really want you to be clicking on links anymore.
Yeah.
The most important information is going to just be displayed immediately there and then on your screen. We're seeing that right now. If you're a retail and F&B, SEO is going to be limited to how do you rank on Google My Business.
Yeah.
How do you rank on Google Maps? If you are going to be like B2B SaaS like ourselves, I don't expect to rank for POS as a search term because Wikipedia is going to own that and Google's going to pull from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But what Google has not yet managed to pull, or not effectively anyway, long form, strong pieces of content that you cannot read in like like a quick glance. This means like, retail, like retail trends of 2019. That is unlikely to be summarized by Google.
Yeah.
But there might be. I pulled that out of my ass, so I have no idea whether that's a huge search term or not. But the chances of you still ranking for a term like that, you still actually being able to get a click through for a term like that is really, really high. And there's also future and localized content. And in Southeast Asia, I feel we are a particularly good spot for that. If you're in the US, you've got a shit ton of competing content. Here, local content, we don't have a lot of local content, honestly. And Google's going to continue to prioritize local content as it becomes more specific to each of the audiences. At least that's my take. Also, do video because YouTube links will come out like right on top, actually.
Yeah. My take on that is like the answer to the previous question. Make sure you have the right content. So content actually takes care of a lot of things. So first, of course, you take care of your technical SEO. Get a good tool like SEMrush or Ahrefs. Check out how to optimize your website, different links and stuff. But when you create great content, you spend a lot of money on research, create great content, people will link back to you. And then Google will actually want to give people a good user experience. So that's when your content rank as well. So as long as you keep the principles of having a very user-friendly website and also create great content, I think you will be constantly ahead of the Google algorithm.
You're right. Yeah. Really, really good website. Mobile load speed, guys. Like mobile load speed is the most important thing. Yeah. But how fast does your site load?
Yeah, go to googleoptimize.com. This is free tip. Go to Google Optimize. Yeah, go Google Optimize. Put your website in and see what is not. So just put your website in and see what is your page load speed and what are the problems that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
So huge images, and JavaScript, whatever. So just go to Google Optimizer, put your website in there. So any other questions? Should we use cost per lead to benchmark? So interesting.
Well, actually, there's a very easy answer to that. What's your objective? What's your KPI? Like for me, I use cost per lead to benchmark a campaign, but ultimately it's return on ad spend.
Yeah.
Right? I can pay a crazy high cost per lead, but my return on ad spend is still really low. I'm like, that's fine.
Cost per lead to optimize the campaign. It depends on the objective on your campaign. I run like different campaigns. You should also do your awareness campaigns. So that's subjective to what you're doing. So actually, team. So can we have sort of like the best questions? We are going to actually give out the movie tickets, and then we will contact you in PM. So later we'll let you know. So our team will actually announce in the comments who actually won the movie tickets, and then we will PM you for the details. So tune in for our next webinar next week as well to see what you can win. So we'll try
more movie tickets in next webinar.
Yeah. So we have about 10 minutes left for our live. So any questions, do keep them coming in for Xinch. And let's see. Okay, so a question from Leven Poon. How to effectively scale up your Facebook ads? My ads run good on small budget, but when I try to scale up, the results is not expected. It's okay.
Oh, I'm facing the same problem too. You will always face this problem. Honestly, you will always face this problem. My hypothesis has to do with audience size. Like when you find like a good niche, a good cost per lead, and all that, your audience is really good for this kind of budget. And then as you scale up, suddenly it goes like boom. To me, the answer is scale slowly, very slowly. Have multiple campaigns because not all campaigns will survive a scale up.
When scale up, you mean, let's tell them, it means you increase the budget for the campaign, right?
Yes. So if the campaign works well, $50 a day, don't lie. Like the next day, put it at $100, right? Like 55, 60, inch it up slowly. But the reality is, I feel Facebook is a very catch-22. As you scale a campaign, honestly, your acquisition costs tend to go up as well. Sometimes I think it's because it reaches very more irrelevant audiences. But yeah, no, it's a problem you always face. Whether you're spending $50 a day or $500 a day, you will still face the same problem. That's my take on it.
For me, if it works well, I try not to
change
the budget, especially changing the campaign budget or the ad set budget. It does affect the campaign tremendously. I would duplicate the same campaign, have 2 campaigns running simultaneously. That is what I would do to scale. But generally, when it comes to Facebook ads, don't touch the budget if it's working. that's that. Hi Khushbu, thanks for watching. So we're waiting for questions to come in. So let's see. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so this one is more a question about our courses. So Nelson Chi Fong actually asked, I don't have a product to launch. Am I suitable for the course? So different. So we have for the audience right here, we have 2 digital marketing courses. For digital marketing quantum degree, which is the digital marketing quantum remote immersive, you will learn from materials created by Xinch. So you'll learn everything from SEO, Facebook, Google Ads, understanding your customer, marketing funnels, strategy, and so on everything.
Marketing fundamentals, like how do you build a customer avatar, all the boring stuff like that.
So Xinch has spent many weeks and many hours creating those content. So if you want to, please head on to Next Academy's website after this and sign up for the course. And we also have another course called the Digital Marketing Product Launch Bootcamp. So you don't really have to have a product to launch for this bootcamp. What we actually have is we will actually have the products for you to market. And how the course works is we will have around 15 to 20 students, and you'll be split into groups, and you'll be working on marketing the same product. So we'll actually give you the product, we will handle the ad spend, and you will actually test out different campaigns during the product launch bootcamp. So do join us for the product launch bootcamp, and also you will get access to the digital marketing quantum degree as well when you join the product launch bootcamp. And it's for marketers, business owners, and also for people who are interested in marketing in general.
I mean, it's actually really great. I think I made the course, I have to say it's a really good foundation, especially if you're really fresh and you haven't started anything. But even if you've had some experience, so we had a student who was working at Google optimizing campaigns, and he wanted to kind of learn other things like Facebook and Google Analytics. So he took the course to build proficiency in the other areas. Sorry. I'm holding the cough for 10 minutes. But so I think you don't need to have a business to be able to learn digital marketing. It'll be easier, of course. But you can apply it to anyone, your friend's cafe, that works too.
So even for the product launch bootcamp, in our last batch, we had, business owners who joined the bootcamp. There was a lady who owns an IT company. There was a guy who actually owned a furniture store. So, they came to us, and of course they worked on our products, but they also came to us with real world problems for their business. And we actually answered, questions when it came to their business as well. So that's about our product launch bootcamp. So our digital marketing quantum degree actually launches on August 26th, and the product launch bootcamp is on September 5th. So the question would be, some people ask me is what differentiate our digital marketing courses from other. I cannot speak from other academies, but what you learn here is from practitioners. So Xinch has been doing digital marketing for close to 10 years already.
Yes,
and
that's how old I am.
From different industries. So from now she's doing software. And previously she was doing a lot of affiliate marketing, B2C.
marketing.
So you will learn from different people who are actually in the industry. I myself have worked in advertising, in retail, and now doing education marketing. So, and also we have instructors, who are actually practitioners. We have Facebook ads experts to teach you in the product launch bootcamp, Google ads experts, SEO experts who actually do SEO for multiple markets. So you actually learn from practitioners in the industry as well. So yeah, I hope to see you guys in the digital marketing course. So there's some questions coming in. So do you want to take this? How do you compare CPC?
Actually, I was
on Google and Facebook
because this is the most frequently asked question.
Okay, so how do you gauge CAC, a customer acquisition cost for online marketing? What is a good investment to get 1,000 customers? So great question, David Heng. So
this is a great question. It's also a frequently asked question. Like, I think when we used to run the Saturday classes, this is the question that gets asked the most. How much money should I spend on marketing?
Okay.
My answer is, how much money can you spend? Marketing is part of business, right? You don't like it's supposed to support your business. So there's actually no like the best customer acquisition cost or the best cost per click or the best CPL. It actually depends on your business. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, right? Because traditionally we love benchmarks. We're like, okay, am I doing well or am I not doing well? Is this good or is this bad? But really, it's not binary. There's no right or wrong answer. It's almost always a matter of, is this right for your business or not? If you are spending $10 to acquire a customer, but your margins are $3, it doesn't matter if typically $10 is really cheap. What matters is you still can't afford to do it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Go with what your business numbers actually tell you. What are your profit margins? If you're only earning $3, like, okay, you gotta be spending way less on marketing, or finding a way to increase your margin. But there is no best number. It really depends on your industry, what you're selling, the kind of audience you're selling to in the competition. Sorry, micro rant.
Yeah. So it's basically how much you can afford and how much. So when you start your new business or new software product, CAC might be high. But as you go down, as you do more marketing, of course, CAC will reduce. So it's how long you can last with this CAC. So that's the question that you ask yourself. So hey team, do we have a winner for the movie tickets?
I think we do.
Oh, so the best question, and thanks for all the 20 shares, is Sean Tan. Thanks for your great question. So we'll get you in DM and send you the movie tickets.
So these now belong to Sean Tan.
Okay, thanks for joining Wong Kok Wai and Levina. So actually we are about to head to the end of the questions. So thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thank you.
We will, anyone who is interested in our digital marketing courses, please do send us a PM on Facebook and we'll get back to you. And any questions when it comes to digital marketing, please do send us here on Facebook. We'll try to answer it in the next webinar, or we'll try to email you the answers as well.
How many shares did we get in total?
How many shares do we get, team?
21.
Oh, thanks everyone for sharing, and do tag your friends who are interested in learning digital marketing to this webinar. So thanks so much for watching, and thanks Xinch for being here with us for this time.
For having me today.
Yeah. So thanks guys. So we'll say bye Instagram and bye to Facebook. Bye.
Bye.